Hi, Gemini. Hope this reading finds you well. This is Phoenix Heart Tarot. I'm going to be using a few oracle cards to help with your energies today. I'm also going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. If you caught the two tarot decks that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, this is the second deck from that review. I used the first deck last week, and it is called Heaven and Earth. I think all last week when I used it, I called it Fire and Earth, so I do apologize for that. Heaven and Earth. And this week is the Wild Unknown. And this reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. If you don't know what that is, it's just a matter of looking up a free birth chart, putting in the information, and then it'll tell you what your Moon, Rising, and Venus signs are. We do have a new moon coming on the 21st, right out of the super full moon that we just had. So it's been some intense energies. It would not surprise me if I find the Tower card. I swear most every sign has gotten one, and that's just, you know, endings and beginnings, and that happens a lot with a new moon. All right, I do try to connect with my subscribers' energy, so if you haven't done so and you've caught me before, please hit that subscribe button so I can try to connect with you. And this is for the Gemini that needs it the most. You have a past life relationship. You have known each other before. Okay. So you've known this person somewhere in a different lifetime. That's pretty fantastic. All right, Gemini, let's see what we got. So to start out with, you've got the Daughter of Swords. And in this deck, that would be the Page. So you got some clarity about something. Gaining some clarity. You could be receiving a message that clears up some clarity. Okay. Yep. Yep. Daughter of Swords. So swords are always about clarity. They're air signs, you know, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They're generally intangible, meaning, you know, they're thoughts, you know, kind of airy, like air. The Daughter in this deck is the Page, and the Page is a new idea. So you could have a new idea, receive some new communication. Could even be a new offer, you know, maybe something that you feel it's too good to be true, maybe something you don't believe is coming at you, and you're like, I hope this is true. Your obstacle is the Ace of Wands, which is a new beginning, or maybe having that go for attitude. You don't. You know, that's, you're kind of like, this is too good to be true. Maybe you're thinking something that's coming at you is a scam, and that's why you're like, I don't know if I want this new beginning, because I've been so swindled so many different times, because there's just so many scams out there. And with this being a past life that you possibly are dealing with, you could also be remembering a little bit about that past life relationship and not sure you want to go there. In the past, you've got the Chariot. Chariot is generally moving forward, and generally moving forward pretty quickly. Could have been a Cancer also. Maybe even some travel, you know. Maybe you took that leap of faith, because this could be, you know, also a leap of faith card. And it just didn't work out. Maybe you're a little leery of this past life relationship. Let's find out. Boldness is called for. And exalt what you have. Appreciation. Okay? So you need to be bold and appreciate what you have. is what that's saying. Alrighty, so what you got crowding you is the Hierophant. That's tradition. It could be school. It's learning, like higher learning, even sometimes considered church. So you may be just contemplating going back to school to learn something new, or it could be marriage, something traditional, something with the church that you're trying to deal with. And what you've got at your feet is the Three of Wands. This is waiting and trying to be available, trying to figure out what path you want to take. Because you do have the Son of Swords in your near future. You see that owl? He's diving in there with the swords. He's taking action. The Son of Swords is, rushing in. He's the ambitious go-getter. He's ready for this challenge. So you could be ready for whatever this challenge is. Yep. This is you are stronger than you think. So you need to remember to celebrate your small victories, because you're stronger than you think, and it's okay to feel lost sometimes. You'll find your path back. So this past life situation is really making you all over the place. Typical air signs. You're up, you're down, you're sideways. You go with the wind. But you're having difficulties with this passion and this past lover. It's like you still don't want to know if it's true or not. But you're saying you have strength. You've overcome your fear. I think you're getting there. This is also a Leo. Could mean massive abundance. Look at his third eye there. It also looks to me like he used his intuition. And it is involving love. See the rose hanging out of his mouth? So I think you were having some difficulties believing that this past life love situation, relationship is going to be what you were looking for. But I think you've come to the realization it probably is, because it says you also have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is, being happy. You're happy being alone. I think you're ready. It's okay to feel a little lost in someone. But you're stronger than you think. Your hopes and fears, the Father of Cups. And that is the King of Cups. In this deck, he's emotionally balanced, healing, nurturing, and that's your hope and fear. So maybe your fear is that this past life love isn't going to be nurturing the way that you need or want them to be. And in your outcome, you've got the Eight of Wands. This is the aha moment. Something rapid action, rapid communication, texting, sexting, emails, going with the flow, not resisting. So I think you finally are on board with letting this past life relationship, that person that feels all warm and snuggly. I don't think that maybe the past life relationship was all that warm and snuggly all the time, but that's why you were a little hesitant, because it didn't fit. But in your future outcome, you're going to accept them in. When I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disturbed. All right, there you go. So it's asking you to get in line with your thoughts, your feelings, and things will flow better for you. Okay, Gemini, I hope that helped. And I hope this reading found you well. If you like what I do and feel generous, please hit that subscribe button. Helps me tremendously. Thank you so much. You have a great day. See you next week.